Now, speaking of taking matters into their own hands, those that want to take guns into their own hands feel that their Second Amendment rights are being rifled around with. ATF, Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms, has new regulations starting this month that require gun store owners in border states to report multiple sales of rifles, of semi-automatic rifles, is the main thing here. Now, the National Rifle Association is not happy, and they have filed suit. Here's the problem, too. ATF has had what you may call some credibility issues lately. Remember Operation Fast and Furious? It allowed illegally bought guns to go into Mexico to hopefully lead ATF to bigger criminals. Only what ended up happening was that the weapons disappeared and ended up arming the drug cartels. So it didn't exactly work out as planned. Now, here to talk about why gun rights advocates care so much about this is Alex Jones. Thanks for being here. So asking gun owners to report multiple rifle sales for, say, AK-47s, what is wrong with that?
Well, you can't buy an AK-47 at the store. That's a fully automatic Kalashnikov made in Russia.
AR-15, sorry, AR-15.
Variants made that are semi-automatic you can purchase and are used in a very small fraction of crimes.
Sorry, AR-15. Let's talk about like an AR-15.
Okay, a semi-automatic variant of a Colt M16. Now, already when you buy a gun, there is a instant background check and what type of gun you're buying run through the FBI. There's an instant check and then a form made. This is about the ATF ordering people to do things outside of law and filling out giant forms on gun owners who then, when they buy 2 or more high-powered rifles, period, and that's anything over 22, not just semi-auto, you're getting an FBI or ATF visit to your house without a warrant, threatening you. And as you mentioned, there's the credibility issue. Tens of thousands of guns over the last 2 years shipped into Mexico. And some of the heads of the drug cartels are on record, and it's been proven in court, documents have been entered, that the ATF's actually shipping them to knock out the other drug cartels that aren't laundering the drug money through the right U.S. and European-based banks. And so the ATF has been caught shipping guns into Mexico and then blaming the Second Amendment for it and saying we need to restrict your Second Amendment.
Well, hold on.
Because of this.
Hold on. Let me just get in here to kind of get the conversation moving ahead, because sure. The thing with that ATF Fast and Furious 2 was straw purchases, and they didn't track straw purchases, so they let these guns go into Mexico, and they were purchased. A straw purchase is when someone goes in and buys a gun for somebody else. So that negligence there, if you could call it that, or alleged negligence, would seem to indicate that they're having trouble with straw purchases, with policing them. So it seems like it would make sense for them, for store owners to report when 2 or more, rifles are being purchased from them.
All right, let me make it
help the ATF
clear.
do their job that they don't seem to be doing well with.
Well, yeah, their job blowing up Waco and the rest of it. Look, the ATF has a very sordid history, and the cover story that they let tens of thousands of guns be shipped into Mexico to track them is a cover story. It's now come out in federal court with the head of the Sinaloa drug gang and has introduced the documents that guns were being shipped into Mexico for 5 years so his gang could knock out the competition, and that the U.S. government was allowing them to ship in cocaine. That's in the El Paso Times. I actually have the federal filings right here. This is the same story over and over again. And by the way, this is being reported on this week by the El Paso Times, Chicago Tribune. Here's our article from April 27th. Top Mexican drug lord, I traffic cocaine for the U.S. government. Paul Joseph Watson, Infowars.com. Here's another one. Los Zetas Kingpin. We bought guns directly from U.S. government.
Okay, so you don't believe their story, which doesn't surprise me, and they're fair questions to be asking. But why, I mean, personally, does this affect you or make you angry that gun store owners would be burdened with these new regulations? What guns do you own?
I probably own 50 firearms.
You don't own any firearms?
No, I said I probably own 50.
Oh, own 50.
50.
Okay,
yeah, or more.
okay.
But let's be clear about this. The guns I've bought have all gone up in value. Most of them have doubled in their value. It's a great investment. And I am a Texan. Remember the Alamo?
You're in Austin, though. You're in a liberal spot in Texas.
Oh, yeah.
How's that with the 50 guns?
Hey, they came to confiscate the guns. The Mexican government did at the Alamo. That's what started all of this. 1776 started. The ATF, outside of law, they went to Congress and said, pass a law if somebody buys 2 or more rifles for us to go after them, and Congress wouldn't pass it. So outside of law, the ATF is now doing this, and that's why they're being sued. We have a lawless government. Look.
Why do you need, though, 2 semi-automatic weapons if you're, living in a border state? I mean, why do you need a machine gun? Or I know that's automatic, but why do you need that?
Slaves are disarmed. I'm into guns. I like guns. And the ATF, in areas like New York and other places, they've totally banned guns. And Obama, as a state senator, said they want a total gun ban. The U.S. Attorney General says he believes in a total gun ban.
But is it Republican or Democrat, though? Because Ronald Reagan signed the 1986 machine gun ban.
The 1986 machine gun ban. Well, there isn't a ban on machine guns, by the way. You can go buy a
well, you can buy ones that aren't. You can buy ones that were made before the law was put into place. But Ronald Reagan signed that machine gun law.
Yeah, well, I don't agree with a lot of things Ronald Reagan did. He was known as Red Ronnie, and his conservative whole stance was a cover for the things that he was really up to. Look, bottom line, we have a Second Amendment. We defeated the British Empire to get it. We're not turning it loose. And since Obama's been in office, gun sales have basically doubled, and it's going to continue, and the New World Order is going to fail, and this UN treaty to restrict our guns is going to fail.
The ATF.
Pardon me?
The UN, the United Nations?
Absolutely.
Is it behind these regulations?
Absolutely. 50-plus senators just signed a public letter that the United Nations regulations are what the ATF is trying to implement, and Hillary Clinton's trying to get us through treaty to waive our Second Amendment. That's
but how is a gun owner having to report 2 rifle sales stripping your gun rights or stripping your Second Amendment rights personally?
There's an instant background check run, and the number of firearms, handgun, rifle, or long gun is all recorded. It's called the NICS. If the ATF can start creating its own regulations and not laws from Congress, they can do anything. And Obama has said in letters to the Brady campaign, this is a test. If they can do this, he's going to sign an executive order where they can magically put you on a no-gun buy list, like a no-fly list.
All right, Alex. And we'll have to see how this all plays out, because these are supposed to go into effect middle of this month, I believe. That was Alex Jones, host of Alex Jones Show. Thanks for being on. Now,
Already in place.